What's up guys, just real quick, this is a very special video that I had the honor to make with Maskman, and I just have to say at the time of recording this video I was very nervous, so I'm not gonna lie, I did stutter. I didn't even notice how much I did stutter until I went back to edit this video, but regardless I have to say thank you to Maskman once again for being part of this video. He's an amazing person, and y'all better go check out his channel, which I will leave in the link in the description. Anyways, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so today I wanted to bring you a different type of video. I'm trying to try out different types of content and experiment with what you guys would like to see, and I'm not sure how long or short this video will be, since this is really my first discussion video besides my top 20 anime characters, but we're just gonna go with the flow and see, you know, how this goes. So at the beginning of this year, I really started getting into Junji Ito by a friend, and I thought it would be kind of cool to talk about how Junji Ito's art affects me and just how it makes me feel in general. But first, I have a very, very special guest to join me today to talk about this. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yo, how's it going, everybody? Masked Man. It's always awkward for me when I do introductions, but thank you for having me on the channel, bro.
Nah, no problem, bro. No, thank you though. Thank you. Like, you're the man. You're the man.
Anytime.
But
Anytime.
I just want to say real quick why or how I came up with the idea of this video. At the beginning of this year, I had someone ask me if I ever read any of Junji Ito's work, and I remember saying I didn't know who it was. But keep in mind, I've seen his work. I just didn't know his name, and so when I found out his name, I saw he had all these different stories that I just never knew were made by him. And well, I started getting into him, and with the first story I read of his, which was Uzumaki, I realized I've never felt uncomfortable reading a manga. Granted, I haven't read much perfect stuff like that, besides maybe Berserk with its very horrible moments, which I'm sure you guys know, and Flowers of Evil. But with Flowers of Evil, it's not really a horror base. It's more along the lines of shock factor and suspense in a way. At least that's how I see it. I don't know if that's a good way to explain it. Anyways, I was reading Uzumaki, and I can't recall which specific panels, but I remember feeling a sense of uncomfortableness. I feel that's why the Junji Ito collection, or whatever the anime version is called, failed. Because it failed to capture that same feeling when reading the manga version. It just felt like a downgraded and poopier version of the original. And I don't think a manga artist has made me scream like how Uzumaki did. It got to a point where I'd even want to turn the page. I don't know if that was just me, but I'm curious to know how you felt, Mas. Did you see some of Junji Ito's work beforehand? You read your first manga, or you know, if not, how did it just make you feel?
So like the whole thing with Junji Ito, he's one of those names, and there are certain manga panels that you constantly see being posted on, whether it's like art Twitter accounts or just a thumbnail on YouTube or something like that. And Junji Ito's art, especially when people were talking about horror, I think that was the first time I actually encountered anything with Junji Ito. Super Eye Patch Wolf had done a video, and he had, I think, Uzumaki on the thumbnail. Very iconic image with the girl with the swirl on her face and the eye going smaller and smaller. So it's one of those things where the imagery was something I had seen before, and then when I read it, I encountered it. And kind of similar to the sentiments that you were speaking about. I myself, I'm not very big on horror. Like, I can't even play Five Nights at Freddy by myself. Like, if you asked me to play Five Nights at Freddy alone at night, I'd be like, nah, no. I scare easy.
No, yeah, I can totally feel that. When I'm you know, trying to stream a different type of game, I always get all these different recommendations that, oh, you should play a horror game, you should play Resident Evil and all this and that. But I'll be like, I don't know. But it's really because I don't know, I get scared easily. Like I'll like actually start shaking. You know, I don't even want to play the game anymore, but I'm being forced to at that point. But that's how I feel about that. I want to bring up this one story that I had read in Shiver, and I just want to talk about how it made me feel. Because it made me feel something that I've never really ever felt before, and that was me like wanting to like. I felt like a sense of itching when I saw this certain panel. If I get to find it online somewhere, I'll put it up on the screen right now. But that this panel with all these different types of holes, it really just, it made me start itching, like, and like I don't know, I couldn't even read it anymore because my palms were starting to sweat. I don't know how, I've never had something like that happen to me, but if I felt so uncomfortable, but it was in a good way, don't get me wrong. I don't know if you've ever read something like that before.
When it comes to that feeling in specific, not really. I can't really testify to a feeling like that. Even when reading Junji Ito stuff, I would say it's more like this really creepy, eerie feeling where it's like you don't want to turn to the next page, but you also really want to turn to the next page as
Exactly.
well, all at once. And I think the way that Junji Ito does it is he constantly has, like, for example, in Uzumaki, he has these reoccurring moments throughout the story that just become more intense and intense and intense, kind of building up paranoia within the reader, as is with the people within the story. And the other one that I read in No Longer Human, what you have is I think a mastery of Junji Ito saving what is shock factor. Because if you notice, there's a specific moment in like an interview where Junji Ito, he gets jump scared and he just widens his eyes a little bit and that's it. And I think his reaction to jump scares, and if I'm not mistaken, he kind of alludes to them being cheap, which is true because jump scares are just momentary shock value. But in No Longer Human, and I think throughout all his works, he has shock value that's permanent, that stays there because it's been built up so well over time, and he leaves that shocking moment for the next page. You know, he doesn't just leave it all on one page to where your eyes can wander and see it beforehand and spoil yourself, but he's really good on his timing. And it's really interesting for someone who's writing a manga, for somebody who's writing a manga, to have amazing timing, which is, I think, very important for what Junji Ito does. So, but my bad. Going back to your question, now I haven't really had that kind of sentiments. I think too much, like the whole itching feeling and all that whilst reading one of his works.
No, it's fine. I wanna respond to what you said about him with the jump scares and him only feeling like just a temporary sense of fear, I guess I would say. I saw in an interview it was based off of stuff that has happened in his life, and it's reflected in his art, and you can tell. I think that's another reason why I can really appreciate all his work and all these different types of story he has, because they don't just jump scare you like you said, or they don't just I don't know. I really don't know much how to explain it. I'm really bad at that. How can I put this into words?
Maybe, like, I think they just leave you with a feeling that stays. If that's what you're trying to convey, like they leave you with a feeling of dread, like something that it gives you a sentiment of. I used it earlier, paranoia, but it's more like, it is difficult to word these kind of things. Don't worry, don't feel bad.
It
Even
really
I
is.
struggle with them. I think when it comes to Junji Ito's works, it's almost this true experience of fear.
Exactly.
Like it's like a paralyzing fear. It's not like a jump scream. It's like you're scared to move. It reminds me of like I don't know if this happened to anybody else, but as a kid, when you had to leave your room to go use the bathroom, but you were scared of walking down the dark hallway because you kind of didn't know it was there. So it's this sort of paralyzing, dreadful fear of what might happen, even though it's just your mind overthinking things. I think Junji Ito is really good at forcing the reader to do that.
Yeah, for sure. It's not a horror shitty movie. Like something that I can relate to that, or something that I can say that is like that, is when you're going to your bed and you think that there's gonna be some demon right under your bed that's gonna grab you and like take a hold of you and just drag you under it. And like I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that's ever felt that. Is that just me? Sometimes or as a kid, it really happened more as a kid, where I would be going to the restroom in the middle of the night, and I'll come back to my bed and I'll think that something's like about to grab me under the bed, like a demon. So I like hop on my bed real quick, so like they won't get me or something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's definitely happened. It's sort of it's some of those things that sometimes we all think only happens to us. I saw a meme of something one time where it was like, me when I close my eyes in the shower, and it's like a demon behind the person.
Yeah.
And when I saw how many likes the meme had, I thought I was the only one who was scared to like close my eyes for too long in the shower and then reopen them. And I think it's always that, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the unexpected, especially when we consume a piece of media that kind of challenges our mind in a way we haven't been challenged before, especially our imaginations. So I think that's what Junji Ito's works really do. So yeah, I don't know if I relate to the specifics, but I do relate to like trying to get in bed as quick as possible as a kid.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I think Junji Ito like showed me a different type of way to feel fear. It's not like you said the jump scare, or it's some sort of like uncomfortableness, like I said, and like just I don't know, a very eerie feeling. And I think that's it says a lot about someone's work, that it can make you feel that all these things, whether it's sadness, anger, joy. I think that's the moment you start to really get invested. And for me, that's why Junji Ito and his many stories really get to me, and really like, well, that's why I'm really a fan of his work. Like, it's really hard to pick which of his stories I really like the most, because they're all equally good. They're all equally great, actually. They're not just good, they're amazing.
Okay, so for me, I've only read Uzumaki and No Longer Human, and I'd probably rank it Uzumaki and No Longer Human. And I know you just said they're all great and picking your favorites, but really quick, if you had to rank the ones that you've read so far, from 1 through 4, 1 through 5, however many you've read, what would that order be? Kind of as like a recommendation for people who are watching this video.
Oh, I got you. That's really easy. I think for me, with the 4 I read, with Shiver being just a bunch of his stories combined, I think that one is my favorite, because 2 of the stories that are in there really make me feel very uncomfortable. And there's this one story in there that's about pimples, and it's horrendous. Like, I never want to look at that again. And about the whole story in that same book. Second would probably be Gyo. Gyo was really scary. It's about all these different types of fish that start to grow all these legs, and then afterward, I don't want to say anymore, and then after would probably be Tomei, and then last would probably be Uzumaki, only because I feel like I don't know if I just didn't understand the ending, or if I just didn't, I don't know, I just wasn't satisfied with it. But that's probably why it's my least favorite. Maybe because either I didn't get it, or I just wasn't a fan of it in general.
Right, I feel, yeah, it's always different things for different people, for sure.
But I want you guys to tell me what you guys think. Have you gotten into any of Junji Ito's work? If so, what are some things it's made you feel? Was it similar to how I felt? And just want to give one huge shout out to Massman for being a part of this video. It really means a lot.
Oh yeah, nah, man. Thank you so much for having me again. Really dope time kind of talking about Junji Ito's works. Not something I really talk about much. And yeah, nah, for everyone who's new to this guy's channel, make sure you subscribe. Great pleasure for having me on, man.
Hey, you heard the man. He said it. Also, let me know if you guys would like more discussion type videos. I'm curious to know what you guys think, or maybe you guys want a mix of games and game videos and these types of videos. But yeah, besides that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.